Chris, home with Winx, and of course she's had the big media contingent this morning. How did it all go?
Everything went pretty well to plan, or very well in fact. She's a true professional in every facet, and not only on the racetrack but in front of the media as well, and even the fans come race day. So she's had to get used to quite a few things over the past few years, and she handles it like a true professional.
As you do too. What sort of pressure does go on to you and the team on mornings like this?
I just guess the expectation of her to win each and every start is the most telling factor, I guess. It starts sort of 2 weeks before her race. People start to build momentum, ask more questions, and she has a massive fan base, so they're the ones that sort of always wanting to know what's happening as it happens. And the punters, of course, they're there every week, but the fans with Winx is something different that we have had to encounter, and we're certainly privileged to be in this position. So nothing out of the ordinary really. They're obviously finding out through social media or the media outlets, television, newspapers, you name it. So just keeping everyone up to date with what's happening, and not too many changes. That's what we've found upsets people. So keep it simple, and we've got a pretty good thing to talk about.
Yeah, how is she?
She's well. She hasn't changed in the past few years. She's just an unbelievable horse. She's exceptionally good for the reason that she's the same horse every time she goes to races. So she's won over 30 straight, give or take one or two, and you've got to understand what it takes to win a race. And then you're talking about the races of the highest level, and to doing it repetitively. So racing's like any other sport. She needs to overcome a bit of bad luck in certain races or games. Every 30 races that she's been through a pretty solid preparation to have her fit and primed for the day. It's a lot, 30. So the only reason she's done it is she's that good.
Yeah.
You might not see it every time she runs, because she'll only run as fast as you need her to run. She's not a horse that goes out and wins by 10 lengths, although she has done it in the past. But they're more or less been her grand finals where we've really set her alight. So fortunately she's got that 10 or 15% extra up her sleeve, and that's what gets her out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this George Ryder's been her race. It's been one of her signature races, and what can we expect of her on Saturday?
Oh, just the same, really. There's certain races that people may remember, but they're all just as important as each other, and I expect, like, it's easy to be overconfident, but with a horse like Winx, only bad luck can beat her. So we're just hoping that we don't get too wet a track. Why? Because she's just as effective on a good track or a wet track, but just for safety, I guess. So her draw's good. She'll stay out of trouble, and that's the type of horse that she is. You can be arrogant with your instructions or how you ride her. She can sit 3 wide and win. In fact, we prefer her to be there. Most other horses, especially in Group 1s, the last place you want to be is 3 wide. So again, that's just how good she is and how good she makes us look by her simple brilliance and dominance in racing.
We're seeing a bit of track maintenance going on behind us. You might be able to hear it as well, but this track seems to be in great order, Chris. Can you just tell us about Rosehill?
It's pretty good, and that's the beauty of Australian racing, and what I guess in particular New Zealand needs to look at. You need to be able to provide good tracks 52 weeks of the year, and we have a big rainfall here in Sydney in particular. It doesn't get out west, unfortunately, but we want good tracks 52 weeks of the year, and we've got to be able to handle, I guess, 100 or so mils that's fallen this week. It'll be heavy or close to it, but at the same time safe.
Yeah.
I can't remember a meeting being called off because of slippery conditions in Sydney. Visibility might be a cause at rare times, but certainly not on Golden Slipper Day. So we're very fortunate to be racing on good tracks, not just racing on them, but also working on them, and that's how you get the best for the sport.
Okay, you've got 5 Kiwis over here for the Rosehill Guineas, but you've got a star in your team, the Autumn Sun. How's he going, and what can we expect from him?
Well, he's going very well. He's only been beaten once, and that was a victim of circumstances, and since then he's won 3 or 4 stallion-making races, and won them with a bit of arrogance. People think he's a back marker, but don't be fooled by that. It was just a victim of circumstances, first and second up, and he can hold a position pretty close if he needs to. So there's not really any chinks in his armour. He's just a very good horse. So we've been blessed to have one follow on from Winx, and I guess the only doubt is 2000, but his breeding and his brilliance would suggest it'll be no problem for him Saturday.
The main event here on Saturday's the Golden Slipper. You got Yes coming in. You've drawn a horrible alley. How do you combat that?
There's not much you can do about it, other than respect the draw. He'll come into gate 16 of 16, so I guess like an athletics field, if you come the widest, you're going to be tiring late. You can stay up with them, but you have to do a lot more to stay with them. So we'll be trying to conserve a bit of energy to make sure that he's strong at the end of the race. And he's a very good horse. I think he was the favourite prior to the barrier draw coming out. So he's going to need a little bit of luck.
Can he win?
Yeah, he can, yeah.
Okay, plenty of other Waller runners through the day, especially around races like the Ranvid and earlier as well. Is there anything you can sort of pick out for our punters?
I guess horses you'll be looking that will handle a soft to heavy track, more likely a heavy. I think we're in every race on the day, so Sweet Scandal will be hard to beat in the first. In the Ranvet, we've got a few New Zealanders horses there, like Savvy Coop, Shillelagh. She doesn't like the wet. Egg Tart's probably our best in that, or Unforgotten. Yep. So there's 4 in the race together. I think Libran's there as well, so he'll struggle in the wet. Nature Strip needs a bit of luck from his draw in the Galaxy, but he's certainly working very well, and we're going to try and ride him a bit quieter. There's the Mannion Cup. We've got 3 or 4 horses there. I think Shreya is our best, and that'll be enough for you to hopefully get a bit of a kitty together to have an enjoyable day.
Sure will. Thanks so much for the time, and of course Winx this morning. We got here a little bit late. We appreciate you giving us your time, Chris.
Absolute pleasure.